Hello and welcome to our second lesson on mobile app development using an Android app called Sketchware. In our previous lesson, we went through the basics of how to create a layout and the appearance of our app, and we focused on how to add and change items on our screen. In today's lesson, we will delve into the logic and how we can add functionalities to the various aspects of our app. So, for example, if you click a button, what is that button supposed to do? We're going to cover three key items. So the first one will be moving from one screen to another. Screens are also referred to as activities. So we'll move from one activity to the next. We're also going to save data in our app. This will be achieved by creating and using what we call a file shared preferences component. And lastly, we'll add some logic into our app and use an if statement. We'll use a simple login app with 3 pages. As you can see, the first page will be our main activity, which is also the home page. The second page will be our sign up page, and then the third page will be our profile page where the user's information will be displayed. So we'll cover quite a number of concepts as we go, and I will try to keep it as simple as can possibly be. Enjoy. Alright, let's get started. So we are on our main activity, and then the way we are supposed to think of this is that if the user comes to our app, they open, this is the first screen that they will see, our main activity. So what's supposed to happen if the user already has an account? They are supposed to enter their username and their password, and if they click the login page, it should take them to their profile. But in this case, it's a new user, so they do not have that information, and what they will need to do is they will need to sign up. So we'll first configure that. We'll click on sign up. When the button is clicked, it should take us to the second screen. So what I will do is I will add a component called an intent. So the first one, I can call it, you can call it anything that you want. In this case, I'll just call it A. So the intent should move us from the first screen to the second screen. What you'll notice about an intent, there's this lower component, the start activity component, and the upper part. These two go hand in hand. If you leave out the start activity, it will not do anything. So we're moving from the main page to the sign up activity. So that's what will happen when we click that button. It will take us from the first page to the second activity, and then what we will then look at is the sign up page. So when we get to our sign up page, the user is supposed to enter their username, they will enter their email, and they will also enter their password, and then they will save that information. And then we also have a back button to take us back. So also dealing with the back button, let's click on the back button, and we'll also need to create another component, and it will be an intent as well. So in the first case it was B, in this case let's call it A, and we will do the same thing that we did in the second screen, in the first screen, sorry. So our intent will take us to the main activity. And then when the user clicks the save button, it's supposed to save that user's information. So to save information locally, we use what you call a file shared preferences component. So I will add that. So I click the add component, and then you'll see the shared preferences component. So the component name, in this case, since I'm entering user data, I will call it user. And it's important for me to remember this information because I would also need to create another file shared preferences component on another activity or another page if I want to access the information that is saved on this page. So it will be user. As you'll notice, we've got some added items. So we will use the file set data. That's what we're trying to do. So file set data. So it's user. So the way it works in key value pairs. So each key or each value is assigned a key. So in this case, the first value we will call name. The second one will be called email, and then the third one will be the password. And then where are we going to be getting these components? We're going to be getting these values from our text view, which is the edit text. So we've got edit text 1, edit text 2, and we've got edit text 3. So like I said earlier, these work in pairs. So if I assign 2 keys to the same value, this might crash my app. So each value is supposed to have a unique identifier. And then what I would want to happen also is that after the user has clicked on the button, it's supposed to display a message. So I'll use that toast element, and it will say your profile has been created. So that is what will happen when we click on that button. So this button will take us back, and then the save button will save our information. So when that information has been saved, the user should then go back to the login page. So on our login page, what we would want is that if the fields are empty, it's supposed to display a message saying please enter or fill in all the fields. If the information does not match, then it's supposed to tell them that you have entered the wrong information, and if the fields match, then it's supposed to log the user in. So I will use an if else statement. So what I'm just doing is I'm adding these if else statements there, and then I will also use an operator. So the operator is just to say, in this case I want to use the equals, and then I will join the text. So the first things that I want to join will be the username and the password. So that's edit text 1 and edit text 2. So what I'm saying is that if edit text 1 and edit text 2 equals empty, as you can see I've left it blank, then the user is supposed to see a message saying you are fill in all fields. So let's say they have filled those fields in, so I'll just copy this again. Okay, let's say the user has filled in those fields, but then the information is not equal to the information that we already have in our file shape preferences. So I'll use the not, and then what we're saying is that this information is not equal to, let's join, and then like I said, we'll have to create a file shape preferences component so that we access the information that we saved. The component was called user, so we'll call this one user, same name, and we now have those 2 fields there, 3 fields. So we'll use the get data one. So the one that we'll start with is the name, if you remember, and then the second one will be the password. So in this case we're saying if those 2 are not equal, if it does not match the information that we have saved, then our app is supposed to display a message saying item, invalid user name or password. And then lastly, we'll copy this again. Touch screen is not feeling too well. Okay, so in this case, what we want to do is to remove the not item. So we've removed that one. So we're just saying, in this case, if they are equal, what is it supposed to do? It's supposed to send a message saying login successful. But more importantly, it's supposed to move from our login page to our profile page. So we'll use an intent again. Else it does nothing. And then when we get to our profile page, we want these three text views to display the information that was saved. But then we want that information to be there already when it starts. So we'll go to the event and then we'll click on create. So on create, we want to set the text, and then we'll use the view. So we will set the text, we have three text views. So we're going to be using text view 2, text view 3, and text view 4. And then we are going to be getting the data from our user under file shape preferences. So I'll create the same component again. It's user. So it's file get data. So we're getting it from user. So the first item that we're going to get, we remember the key, its name, and then the second key was email. If these keys do not match what you entered, then either your app might crash or it will not be able to get you that information. So these keys have to match. You're supposed to remember them. The password. So when the app starts, this is what information should be displayed. Then let's go back to our main activity, and then the other thing that to our sign up activity. The other thing that I just wanted to note was that if we click on the enter password, the user might want their privacy. They might not want the password to be visible. So to make that happen, we will click on that edit text, and then we'll go to the input type. So we change the input type to text password. That way when the user is typing a password, it will be hidden. So select that, then I think we are good to go. So let's run our app and see if it works. Alright, let's install. And then let's open our app. So let's try just clicking the login. So when you click the login, it tells you that you're required to fill in all the fields. And then let's click sign up. So it will take us to the sign up page, and what we'll need to do is enter a username. So in this case, I'll use my name, which is Lekwa. then my email, say is info at liqua co.w, and then I'll choose just a random password. So in this case, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I will save your profile. Oh, a typo. Your profile has been saved. So since that information has been saved, let me click the back button. So this time I will enter my username. My username was or is like, I want to show you something. I started off with a lowercase and let's try to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I try logging in, it says invalid username or password because it is case sensitive. What it means is that I have to type it in the same way that I had typed it in, so not to leave out any spaces. And then if I click login now, then it will take me to my profile and my information is displayed as well as the password, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So thank you very much, and I hope you found this tutorial helpful.